Oh, hey there.
What is up, world?
Didn't see ya.
We are back.
Season 2.
Coming at you
From
the penthouse.
Welcome to SportzDescx Season 2, where me and Skylar talk about sports.
It's good to be back.
From the desk.
Lots has happened. We've been gone for about 2 months now.
I know.
And we missed the last couple of weeks of football and most of the weeks of playoffs. But we're back just in time for the Super Bowl, which is great, and we would love to talk to you guys about that.
Yeah, and we would love to hear what you have to say about the Super Bowl and how the season ended.
Exactly.
Now,
So,
yes. No.
take this time,
Yep.
do whatever.
Go to the bathroom.
Tell us who you think is going to win the Super Bowl. We'll let you guys know our thoughts and ideas on it come
Soon.
next couple of minutes.
Yes. But first, the NFL season is done, except the Super Bowl, right? So,
Correct.
there's already a ton of questions about who is going to play for who next year. And I'm talking specifically quarterbacks. There are a lot of teams who are in search of a new quarterback.
If we thought last year was crazy with Tom Brady getting traded and whatnot, this year is going to be equally as crazy.
We have on our sheet of paper here a list of quarterbacks whose futures are unknown. And I almost got arthritis writing all these names. That's how many there are. Now, we may not touch on all these because we only have so much time for this show, but there are some notable names here that I think we should discuss. You can pick who you want to discuss first.
I will now discuss. So we already know that there was a trade that went through involving Matthew Stafford and also our good buddy,
Jared Goff.
I was going to say Jimmy G. I had Jimmy G in my head, but I was thinking Jared Goff.
He's a good-looking dude.
Which is a crazy trade in my opinion. Goff and a couple of picks were sent over to the Lions, and Stafford was sent over to the Rams, which is gonna be weird to see. It's gonna add an interesting dynamic to the conference that the Lions are in. I honestly don't know. But it'll be something to see because I mean we're so used to like seeing Matthew Stafford. We're so used to playing against him, and we meet him twice a year. He's been in the league for however long it's been. He's like 32 years old or older.
Yep, he's 32.
Okay, and it's going to be different to see his face in a different jersey, and also seeing someone else in his place. In Jared Goff, I think that the Rams probably won that trade, depending on the luck that comes with the draft coming up here soon. There's no NFL Combine, which is another interesting thing to kind of consider. So that means none of the coaches are going to be able to meet up with the players and have them like compete head to head.
Just looking at that. Sorry. No.
Aside from that, one of the guys that I kind of wanted to talk about, and this one I think is the most intriguing, is where Jimmy G is going to end up. Because right now there's a heck of a lot of rumors circulating. The Vikings being one of the targets that the Niners are trying to send Jimmy G to, and then also Houston to acquire Deshaun Watson, who just recently said that he would like to play for a different team.
John went on your YouTube account. Oh, good one.
We don't have the uke. Where's the uke at?
Not everything is an improvement here in season 2.
But yes, it's gonna be super interesting to see what happens with Jimmy G, where he lands. Whether or not he's gonna. The Niners are really pushing to make a trade with the Vikings. Those talks are on the table. The Vikings have stated that they're not really interested in trading away Kirk Cousins at all. But it's up in the air. We'll kind of see what happens.
I think this offseason, there's so much potential to turn around, and Skylar touched up on a few of them. I am very intrigued by what the Indianapolis Colts might do. Shout out to Christian. I know you're hopefully watching because you said you would. Phillip Rivers retired with the Colts after one season with them. He played for like 17 years with the Chargers beforehand. He retired, so now the Colts are without a starter. There's rumors that New Orleans Saints backup Jameis Winston, who throws a lot of interceptions,
and a lot of touchdowns,
has been linked to the Colts for a potential Rivers replacement. We'll see. There's a lot of upside there. Maybe he just needs to be under the right coach. We'll see. Also, Drew Brees, talking about the Saints, is still undecided on whether or not he's going to come back next year. So if he retires, maybe Taysom Hill will take the helm, as they say, or maybe Jameis Winston will re-sign with the Saints. I think the biggest name, though, on the quarterback market is Deshaun Watson.
Yes, absolutely.
He wants to be traded from the Texans. He stated that. And the haul that the Texans would get for him is a lot. I've heard anywhere from like 3 first-round picks and some players.
It's going to be a little bit better than the Hopkins trade.
I would hope the Texans get more for Watson than they did for Hopkins. You know, it's if you trade for Watson, you better have a ton of extra assets that you're able to give up, because if you trade for him and you give up your future, you know, you're not really coming out ahead in that situation.
That is true.
But also, I've heard that the Miami Dolphins are not set on Tua Tagovailoa as their future starting quarterback. He did not play super well during the regular season. I know he struggled with injuries, but Ryan Fitzpatrick played pretty well in his place. Fitzmagic is really good. So there's talks that maybe Tua won't be back. He might be on the trade block. Mitch Trubisky with the Bears might not last. Aaron Rodgers recently stated that he's not sure about his future with the team. Who knows if that's true or not. Cam Newton's a free agent with the Patriots. He didn't play particularly well.
I wouldn't be surprised if nobody picks him up, because of just how awful he performed this last season with the Patriots. And everyone was thinking, wow, Cam Newton in the Patriots system, that's going to be a team to watch. That's going to be a team that is phenomenal. I mean, under Belichick's rule. And I think we're finding out that without Tom Brady, Belichick might have not been the guy that was holding up the Patriots all this time.
Yeah, it might have been Tom Brady that made Belichick look good. Who knows? One of the biggest quarterback battles we'll have to watch this offseason is the Eagles with Carson Wentz and Jalen Hurts. Carson Wentz has a really, really big contract, which makes him very hard to be traded, but he's not playing too well. Last year's rookie second-round pick Jalen Hurts played pretty well in his place, and so now there's talks of who's going to be the starting quarterback, because which team is going to want Carson Wentz's salary.
True.
So,
who picked up Haskins?
The Steelers did.
Steelers picked up Haskins. Okay.
Yeah. I actually wrote that down very small font.
I was just curious about that one.
Because, yeah, Ben Roethlisberger, he's 38. He's going to be a free agent after next season. So the Steelers are also one of those teams that's going to have to start looking into a future potential replacement. Maybe Dwayne Haskins is the guy that they can groom to be the guy of the future. You know, he was drafted a few years ago. You know, he's not maybe even in his prime yet. But I think it would take a pretty strong coaching staff to elevate his game.
True, and he's had his character flaws and mistakes that came in part due to the COVID precautions and rules that the teams are trying to regulate, that the NFL itself is trying to regulate, and got mixed up into some trouble, and that led the Washington football team, I was thinking it.
Yeah, good thing you didn't say the other word.
Yeah. Oof.
You might have been kicked off live TV.
Yeah.
Because that's not allowed.
So, yeah, he did some stuff. Washington decided to cut him because of that. And Alex Smith did pretty well as a starting player for the Red.
Don't say it. I can't believe it.
The Washington football team. And it was good. He did well. Comeback player of the year for sure. Because as I'm sure a lot of people have heard, he had a lot of issues coming in with his broken leg. And the surgeries that he had and everything that came with it. And we get a comment from Aja.
You know, it's actually interesting you're talking about the Washington football team.
You watch your mouth.
I'm so sorry. It's habit. Taylor Heineke played really well in that playoff game against the Buccaneers in the divisional. Might have been wild card round. So there's talks that maybe he could fight for the starting spot for next season.
That is true. He did. He put up a one and done kind of a game. Well, not necessarily done. I mean, they lost, so they were sent home. However, a lot of what he's capable of has yet to be seen come several of the games when teams can actually game plan for having Heineke and like, I don't know, kind of come to like a conclusion on like his full potential.
He used to play for the Vikings, and I liked him. I hoped he could maybe at least be like a good backup. So he's a good player. He was really good at Old Dominion in college, set a lot of passing records. I know it's not a Power 5 team, but he's got some talent.
True.
So who's to say? Now, we're going to move on from the quarterback carousel to the big game coming up on Sunday, otherwise known as the Super Bowl.
Beautiful.
Well, we don't have the uke, so.
All right, so as everyone should know, If you don't, thank you for watching. The Super Bowl is taking place between Tampa Bay and Kansas City, and there's a lot of speculation around the league. I mean, obviously, there's always going to be some skeptics out there that are saying, wow, the NFL is so rigged, blah, blah, blah. They got what they wanted. Tom Brady, possibly in his final year, is the first guy to play a home Super Bowl, like be a home team, and have that home venue.
It's in Tampa Bay.
Yeah, so Tampa Bay has a Super Bowl in Tampa Bay, which could have been the Vikings the other year, but
we Vikinged it.
We sucked. Not clutch at all.
Sad.
But yeah, it's Tampa Bay, and it's the Chiefs, who have an absolute powerhouse offense.
They do.
And Tampa Bay, who is pretty solid, a really well-rounded team, I'd say. So curious about you guys. What do you think is gonna come through with the Super Bowl? Like, who's gonna come on top? Who's gonna win, and why?
Yeah.
Jake.
In the meantime, we'll give our comments and thoughts. We actually disagree on who's good, or I didn't mean to spoil it. I picked Tampa Bay. I don't know who Skylar picked to win.
Lottie, Uncle Tom.
I'm really sorry. I picked Tampa Bay to win, and there's a few reasons. One, I don't mind Patrick Mahomes, right? He's a great player, but I feel, and with Tom Brady too, to an extent, like the NFL worships the guy. And I kind of am against the Chiefs in the sense that if you guys remember the divisional game against Cleveland, when Jarvis Landry of the Browns dove for the end zone, potential touchdown, and then Kansas City Chiefs player Drew Sorensen hits him head-to-head hit, was a touchback against Cleveland, changed the whole course of the game, wasn't called, should have been a penalty. I don't know. I just don't like how good their offense is because they can score at will, it seems. Their defense is a little shaky. It's covered up by the offense. I like Tampa Bay because Brady has more experience and he's got a lot of weapons at receiver, running back. I also, being a Gopher fan, I'm a little biased because the Buccaneers have a few former Gopher players, safety Antoine Winfield and receiver Tyler Johnson, both rookies, so I'm kind of pulling for them. But yeah, Skylar, who'd you pick and why? Because I didn't spoil it at all.
I had Kansas City winning. I think overall their offense is going to be one of those that just puts up numbers left and right, and it's going to be super difficult for Tampa Bay's defense to kind of keep up with that. We saw in the conference championships with Tom Brady facing off against Aaron Rodgers. It was a super good game. It was nice to see two like legendary quarterbacks duking it out with each other. And as we know, Tom Brady struggled. He threw 3 picks back-to-back series. And so he's not always Mr. Clutch or anything like that. And like obviously they still ended up winning the game, but their defense came through and was able to kind of pull off that game to stop Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams and all that. It was pretty like solid to see. However, I don't know if they can stop Patrick Mahomes, Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce, and their offense is just too good to compare to.
Nicole Hardman, yeah.
I don't really like. He's good. I just don't think he's like, I don't know, as elite. He muffed a punt and then caught 2 touchdowns or something.
Yeah, you never know what you're gonna get. We have a few
interesting
comments here. Carson Hilgendorf. Thanks for watching, Carson. I knew you would. If Tom Brady wins another Super Bowl, I will cry. Now, I know we've talked about this, Carson. I don't remember if you'll cry because you're happy, but part of me wants to say that you hate him. I feel like you said that you hate Tom Brady.
You also cried when we were singing in church, so...
Yeah. Is that just your go-to? Spencer says that he wants Tampa because he wants... Or Tampa will win because he wants them to. Aja says Tampa Bay. They got home field advantage. Their chemistry comes a lot quicker than the Chiefs. Carson would be sad. Okay, so she doesn't like Tom Brady. So you want the Chiefs then, I assume, to win?
Carson, I would say that's a wise choice. I like it. And Aja said something about home field advantage.
That's true. It is in Tampa Bay.
Feeling the chemistry came a lot quicker, a little harder. The Chiefs are better. Both are stacked though.
Yeah.
Yes, they are stacked.
Yeah.
That's another interesting thing to kind of think about is if Tampa Bay wins, how much of that is going to be in part to the officiating of the game, and what's all going to happen there. Because, I mean, we hear about like all the skeptics and the biases that go on in the league. And like Deflategate and different scandals and like different stuff like that surrounding like Tom Brady's past. And like to his credit, he's been to like 9-10 Super Bowls. This will be his 10th Super Bowl.
That's half of my life.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Almost.
So it'll be something. I definitely think that Kansas City is a little bit too powerful for Tampa Bay.
Yeah. It's gonna. I just want it to be a close game.
Yes.
I don't really care who wins.
Earlier in the year, Kansas City and Tampa Bay faced off head to head. Chiefs came out on top, 27-24.
Okay.
So it was a pretty close game. If I remember correctly, it was 27-24.
You would think that, the teams would also be just as equally matched at this point in the season too.
True. And they get an extra week to face off.
Yep. It's going to be interesting for sure. Yeah. So we'll see. But this will be because the season ends before our next show. This is going to be one of our last main segments about the NFL for a while until we talk about free agency.
Yeah, we're going to make a shift over to, I'd say, NBA to hockey.
For next week.
What were you thinking?
I thought you meant right now we're going to go to the next segment. So I was like, baseball. And then you said NBA, so I didn't want to steal that.
Oh, yeah, no, sorry. I was thinking more so overall the direction that we're headed. But if you wanted to talk about baseball, go ahead, take it away.
Other sports too. Carson, I'm glad you're still hopefully watching because the next thing we're going to talk about, I know it's really close to home. Feel free to chime in the comment sections how you feel about this. I know we talked a little bit about it. Breaking news in Major League Baseball, and by breaking, it happened a few days ago. The Colorado Rockies trade all-star Nolan Arenado to the St. Louis Cardinals in exchange for a pitcher and several prospects. Now, what's the significance of this trade, you say, or you ask? Well, Arenado is 29 years old, arguably, and I got the stats, I think, to back this up, the best third baseman in the game right now, one of the top third basemen of all time. A career .293 hitter, which for those of you who aren't familiar with baseball, is an amazing batting average. Arenado has won 4 straight National League Platinum Gold Gloves. He's won 8 straight Gold Gloves every year he's been in the league, so all 8 years. 4 Silver Sluggers. He's due $35 million this year in his contract. The Cardinals have the payroll to pay for that. And Arenado has the 3rd best fielding percentage of all time for third baseman at 97.2%. So this is definitely the biggest blockbuster trade of the season so far. Carson says, this is the most ridiculous trade I've ever seen in my life.
Why is she yelling at us? I don't know.
All caps, I assume, means yelling. So,
can I put you on pause real quick?
Always.
All right.
I shouldn't say that.
Yeah, don't give me that authority. I would also like to bring it back to the NFL.
Oh, yeah.
Throughout the course of the season, Jake and I were doing game picks, and of the 256 games that are played in a 17-week NFL season, I would like to let everybody know with a solid score of 68.75%, I beat Jake and his 58.98%. So for the running total, I had 176 games guessed correctly out of the 256. Jake, you only had 151.
That's still more than half.
By 8%, yes. But yeah, so that was a fun little thing that we did. We also did like wild card and divisional rounds and conference.
And I crushed your butt in the playoffs. I destroyed you. It's not how you start, it's how you finish.
It was pretty even. So how we finish is the Super Bowl, and that has yet to be seen. I'm super excited about it.
And whoever gets it right gets an extra 13% in their correct score. So I would win if I get the Super Bowl.
And a chest bump.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Back to your baseball.
Yeah, so Skyler wins. Oh, my baseball. It's everyone's baseball. It's America's pastime.
Now Spencer says if you ain't first, you're last.
If you ain't first, you're last, Jake. Okay, Spencer, I got news for you.
Ozra says it too.
The Brewers signed second baseman Colton Wong. Curtis, I hope you're watching in night class, like you said you would. Sky interrupted Jake just to flame him.
Roasted like a marshmallow.
You know what? I'm not going to finish the segment. Just kidding. The Brewers signed second baseman Colton Wong today to a 2-year, $18 million deal. He's one of the better fielders in the league. Now, I know I just said Nolan Arenado's a great fielder, but you can have multiple good players in the league. He's probably going to be their leadoff hitter, maybe their number 2 guy in the lineup, but he brings with him several Gold Glove awards, pretty decent average, about 270 career hitter. So it's a good solid pickup for the Brewers. That'll shift Kenton Hiura, I don't remember how to pronounce his name, to first base. He played second base last year, I believe. And on the Twins side of things, because one of us here, you're a Twins fan too, right?
They just extended somebody, didn't they?
Yeah, we just re-signed. They just re-signed Nelson Cruz to a 1-year, $13 million deal. He's
a whole extra year with him.
He's 40 years old. That's really good of you to say that. Yeah. He's 40 years old, but he's great at the plate, still producing at a high level. Hit like almost 300 last year, maybe over. I don't remember the stats. If anyone has them, shoot them in the comments section. But a great re-signing, I think, for the Twins. They also just signed a closer today, Alex Colome, who had a .81 ERA last year, which is pretty great. I don't like Spencer's comments. No, Spencer. Most teams can only have one good player. Also, sorry, I got a little rattled there.
It's a little worked up right now.
The MLB announced that they will start the 2021 regular season on time this year on April 1st as originally planned. So no more pandemic shortened season. I believe it will be 154 games. I don't know if they shorten that permanently.
Is there any update on fans?
I have not heard any updates on fans.
Wild are postponing games because players are COVID positive.
Oh, the Minnesota Wild and hockey. We really need to do more hockey stuff.
I can say what I know about hockey if that's any consolation to our lack of hockey knowledge.
Yeah. But yeah, that's pretty much all we have in the baseball world for tonight. It's been a slow free agency because I don't really know why. It's been really slow. So we'll have to see if, some more big... I don't know. I know I had a friend of mine, Curtis, say that he wants the Brewers to sign Justin Turner, who's played really well with the Dodgers. He's a third baseman. So there are some notable names out there. The Orioles just signed Felix Hernandez today to a minor league contract. There are some notable names out there. We'll see if any more big signings happen. But with that, we're going to kick it on over to the court with some basketball.
We love basketball.
Oh, I'm sorry to interrupt.
Oh, yeah, no, I did see you earlier.
Yeah, so you better get ready. Carson says that Miller Park is setting up for what looks like fan seating. She's got insider contacts. She owns the team.
She does.
So, okay, well, I feel like if in Wisconsin they're letting some fans, you'd think in some more southern states too there'd be more fans. Like,
true.
Maybe they should let fans at the game.
I heard for the Super Bowl, tickets are like 1,300 buckets. Sorry, you told me NBA. Now I'm in the mindset. 1,300 bucks for a seat.
Buckets,
which is
funny.
A pretty expensive ticket if you think about it, especially for one that's limited seating, one that is, I don't know, it's crazy to me.
Aja says you could have transitioned it better, Jake. Why would you kick it into basketball? Isn't that a fact? Okay, let's just talk about basketball. I'm sorry. I'm going off the deep end.
So the NBA season is in a pretty solid swing right now. They didn't
swing. You can't say baseball stuff with basketball if I can't say football things for basketball. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, I get it. I just want...
We're a little rusty today.
So it's been 2 months, man. Give us a break. Cut us some slack. Fred VanVleet is kind of one of those guys that you don't necessarily hear about until he does something special. And the other night, he did just that. He scored, what was that?
54.
54. Oh, I thought he was only in the 40s. Which...
After 3, he was.
Oh, okay. I got you. He sets a record. What is UDFA?
Undrafted free agent.
Oh, he was undrafted?
Yeah.
Oh, weird. Anyways, he did well. He scored a lot of points. Props to him. Karl Anthony Towns is out with the wrist injury that he got in the second game of the year or something like that. And he's been missing games left and right, which has really, really hurt the T-Wolves and their team. As they only have 4 wins.
Yes, it's not many.
In 13 games or something like that.
19.
Oh, dang. Okay.
They're 4 and 15.
So bad. So bad. Yeah, it's not looking good for them. Celtics are doing all right. They're my team for those of you guys that don't know. They're doing all right. They're kind of struggling this year so far. I mean, they have Daniel Tyson, Tristan Thompson in the post, and that's their weakest link right now. But Jason Tatum's doing pretty well, doing pretty solid. Steph Curry is sitting there trying to carry Golden State, and he's doing all right. He's doing a pretty good job of that. I mean, they absolutely crushed Minnesota when they played. However, Brooklyn just recently acquired your boy James Harden, and that's been quite the mix. I mean, he's been, ever since he got into Brooklyn, he's played lights out, done phenomenal. But at the end of his time with Houston, you could tell that guy was ready to go. He was not trying. He was not putting up very good numbers at all. He was just ready to be out of there. Got what he wanted. Now he's in Brooklyn. And now he's with KD, right? KD plays for them. Mm-hmm. Who's their third powerhouse guy?
Kyrie.
And they are absolutely killing it. They're doing so well. However, their defense has got to be one of the worst out there.
It's
probably
so bad.
Like ever.
It's so bad.
But
we got a few.
If your offense is good enough, who needs defense?
It's just a suggestion. Spencer says, I'm mad Harden went to Brooklyn. Aja doesn't think Brooklyn's big three will be special. Spencer comes back with Houston's lacking hard now. I'm trying to think of who Houston got in that trade. Was it Jarrett something from the Nets?
Where's Scott with our fact look up here?
Yeah, Scott says that Cruz's average was 303 last year. So that's amazing.
That's a Cruz Avenue 3. I thought that was an address.
No. Although I guess it
was in the middle of everything.
I suppose. You could say the Rockets aren't cleared for takeoff.
That's just awful.
I think it was okay, but maybe that was awful. I don't know. Yeah,
there is unrest in Bradley Beal, and to my knowledge, Aja, you have Bradley Beal on your fantasy team. I don't know if this is something you want to take note of, but with the Wizards, he's become a little bit discontented with the way that they are performing. They are performing just about as good as the Timberwolves.
So bad.
So yes, bad is to say the least. So I don't know if you want to expand on that at all, Jake, but that's all I have to say.
Well, Bradley Beal's putting up career numbers, 34.9 points per game. He has to offensively carry the team. I know Russell Westbrook's in Washington, but he struggled a little bit this year. He's playing definitely below his career averages. I never have thought Russ is someone who can, carry a team.
He's never been much of an outside shooter or even I'd say even a jump shotter. But his ability to handle the ball, dish it out and whatnot, and create shooting lanes when it comes to attacking the rim is something that he is pretty special at.
Yeah. He attacks the rim for sure. For sure. He's kind of like Derrick Rose in the sense that he will attack the lane and he drives a lot to the hoop.
Yeah.
That's not always going to win you games.
Will you trade me Bradley Beal? You who doesn't care about fantasy basketball, and I'm in last place in the league.
So it's just a quick side note in the NBA. I heard that Miami Heat recently are having COVID sniffing dogs. So fans can go into the game select number, but before you walk in, security has a bunch of dogs that will sniff you to detect COVID. So apparently you can smell that now. I don't know.
Yeah, so standard procedure typically had been you'd walk up, you'd show up at this tent, and what they would do is they'd take your temperature and you'd walk through, and then there's security as well. And so instead of those interactions, I guess they're using dogs now.
Yeah.
Instead of taking people's temperatures and all that fun stuff.
Gosh, I hope you don't accidentally forget you have treats in your pocket.
Yeah.
Otherwise you're screwed.
Or a steak.
All right, that is all the NBA news we have tonight. We're going to quick transition to our second to last segment. The wife carrying is one of the sports that I think we touched on briefly first semester when we talked about some of our interesting under the radar sports. And I don't know, it's just something I find very intriguing. I always wanted to do a Tough Mudder race, and these are kind of like those, but you're carrying your wife. So the only equipment that you're allowed to wear, some people do wear equipment, some people don't at all. So the man wears a belt, and the wife can wear a helmet for obvious reasons if she's dropped. But a fun fact for you about wife carrying is that, well, neither of us are qualified because we're both single, but in 2013, Finland hosted the wife carrying championships.
I love Finland.
So I think that's a really interesting piece of information about wife carrying. All right, but we're going to make things be a little more local here in the world of Sports Desk and talk about some WLC sports action for all of you students watching, all three of you.
Absolutely. We have just about every sport that there is on campus is all in season currently. So like football, basketball, volleyball, track, cross, they're all in season. I don't know if golf is going to be, I don't know if tennis is going to be either, because tennis had a little bit of a season this last year. They're a little bit of a low contact sport, so they could easily social distance and whatnot. However, there's a lot of like big sports like softball, baseball, football, all of them that take up a lot of space, that have larger populated teams, are fighting for space in the gym, which is super, super crazy to see. Like we got teams that are working out at like 5 a.m. and then we got teams that are working out all the way until like midnight. It's definitely interesting, and there's a lot of civil unrest with people that actually want to use the weight room because this is where some of their tuition goes, funding like upkeep of these facilities and whatnot. And I mean, I get it, Jake, you're on the outside looking in basically, because I mean you have your schedule and you're able to get in there whenever you possibly can, but it's tough when it comes to like working out, getting all girls and whatnot, and then rushing over to class. Like for some people, if you have like if you have like 3 or 4 other classes after your workout, that's like not comfortable, and like other people around you are gonna hate you.
Yeah. Well, it definitely is, that time of year where all the sports are at one time. So yeah, I mean, I'm hoping it's just a this year sort of thing, where maybe next fall the fall sports can actually participate in the fall. So maybe this won't be an issue again.
And it also won't matter to us because we'll be gone, we'll be graduated and whatnot. However, women's basketball has already played 1 and if not 2 games. Two
games. They're 2-0,
and they are 2-0. We got to watch one of those games, first game of the season, and they did pretty good. They held their own. They were down by quite a bit after the first couple of minutes. It was like what,
10-2,
13-2.
But then they fought back.
Really and well. They ended up winning by double digits, which was pretty cool to see.
Amanda Brugge played really well in the post. I think she led all scorers with
she had 20-some points.
Yeah, I knew it was more than like 15. Yeah, she played really well. And it's a young team this year.
Yeah,
lots of freshmen and sophomores.
We have 1 senior this year, and that is Amanda.
It's Amanda, yeah. So Amanda, you are very important to that team.
True.
Yes. Men's basketball has done nothing.
They were supposed to have a game on Tuesday that got postponed. That was against MSOE, which is who the girls just beat on Monday. But they now have a game on, you said Friday?
Yeah, Friday, and I believe they also play Saturday. Kind of like the women's did last weekend.
Sweet. And those are away games. At least the one on Friday is an away game.
Friday is home game.
Oh, it is? I was looking at the girls. Sorry.
I wrote it.
So hopefully we'll be able to go check that game out. That'll be super fun to see.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's been a while since we've watched sports live, and so every opportunity we get, we're taking.
Oh.
Who's
okay.
Fish?
That's my buddy Alex.
Oh, okay.
Alex, thanks for watching, man. Yes, I think we could quickly turn back to the NBA regarding who the Rockets received first. So they received Karis LeVert. That's the name I couldn't think. Okay, yeah, Karis LeVert, Rodions Kirkus, Dante Exum, and picks. Thank you, Scott. Your dad is on top of things. Now, my buddy Alex says, could you comment on the courtside Karen at the Lakers game a few days ago?
Okay, first of all, I thought that was hilarious that you have a freaking NBA legend in LeBron getting in a verbal altercation with a fan that was a female. Yeah, I just think that's super petty and also super hilarious.
I don't know all the details of what she said, but didn't she say something like, I thought it was like a father-daughter thing, and I think they're married. The couple is, but the guy's like older and the girl is like much younger. You can do the rest, figure out the rest. But
yeah, I have no idea. But just looking at that, I was like, come on, LeBron, you're playing basketball. Like my mindset was like, obviously with a normal situation where you'd have several thousand fans in the stadium,
Yeah.
you're getting heckled way more than you are than just that one person.
I know.
And to react to that, I thought it was silly.
The husband's 75, she's 25. I think, I'm guessing the reason it was more noticeable is because if there's less fans, you can hear people more. And if she's sitting close by, maybe after a while he just got sick of it. But
I'm also curious as to what she could have said that like set him off. That was like,
yeah,
yes, this is gonna make me respond to this.
I think it's been reported what she said. I just can't remember what it was.
I did not look into it. I just saw that it happened.
Either way, it's a very interesting story.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things where it's like, okay, like it's interesting for a little bit,
Yeah.
but just
But whatever.
yeah. She'd take my money when I'm in need. Yep. Yeah. Back to WLC sports though. Men's volleyball. We got a men's volleyball team. I think we talked about that last semester.
Yep, I think so. This is their first year. And talking to some of the players on there, they're saying, "Oh, we don't have anything to live up to." And they're also, I heard that we have of like the top like 20 best schools in the entire nation, 5 of them are in our conference.
Yeah, in all of D3. So we have the toughest conference, I heard from one of the players in the country for D3. And we are a first-year team looking to upset every one of them.
Exactly.
We are going to ruin their senior years like there's no tomorrow. But anyways, the season opener for men's volleyball begins on February 18th against crosstown rival Concordia University. That is at Concordia. I believe their home opener is, I can see it. It's written down now. It's against MSOE at 7 o'clock on February 23rd. So you better believe there's going to be a lot of fans there to see that.
MSOE happens to be one of those ranked teams.
Yes. But I think there's going to be a lot of like students there because it's a men's volleyball. Like that's going to be fun.
Yeah.
Just to see.
It'll be exciting.
So I hope you're not on Death Beauty that night.
What day is it? Friday?
I think that'll be a Tuesday. Yeah, it's 3 weeks from yesterday.
It's the day after Ash's birthday.
Yeah, he asked if you're coming to his birthday party a while ago.
No, I'll be at a volleyball game.
You said yes in the comments. So are you a liar or And in no new news.
No new news. Men's golf coach on the hot seat per usual.
Yeah, I mean, what's new? You almost wonder at what point will they put him out of his misery and let him go.
Yeah.
Because how can a man take that much pressure all the time?
Beats me.
I mean, if I was on a hot seat, I'd want to get off.
I was in that golf simulator room the other day, and I was thinking, wow, that seat is hot. There's one chair in there.
So if you're interested in coaching golf here, there will probably be an opening in the near future. We'll have to see. Now, Skylar, you play on the football team here. Run us through a little bit what your season's going to look like this semester.
So right now we have a 3-week block set ahead of us for straight workouts. We work out Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. And that is from 8 o'clock to 9:30. And the way that we've divided ourselves to kind of like account for social distancing is we have all the linemen together, all the defensive backs, so safeties, cornerbacks and linebackers. I believe we have some linebackers. And then quarterbacks and receivers are all in separate groups. So those are the 3 groups. So one group goes down to the weight room to work out and do some agility work in the Sports Performance Center. Another group will go on Monday night we had a devotion, and the following night we had a team meeting, like a group meeting in the golf room because they have a whiteboard in there. And then the third group of guys would be working out in the gym, which is basically doing like drills that we would be doing if we were on the football field. So that's how they have us divided up. Like I said, we work out Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. Friday is different than the rest of the days of the week because we get a more allotted time to use the weight room from like 2 o'clock to 5 o'clock, and we have different sign-up times for guys to kind of go in there and work out around their classes, which is super cool. And then, so that's 3 weeks there, and then after that, I think we're hoping to have a season start in March, and it's just going to be a conference season. We're looking at 6 total games. And it's going to be exciting to kind of see what we're up against when we get to actually playing football. I mean, not everybody gets to have their season coming off of coming just after like your winter workouts where you're like really hitting it hard, hitting the weight room, getting like swole. It's gonna be something to see. I think this year is gonna be super competitive around the entire conference, and it'll be fun. It'll be exciting. It'll be a decent way to send off my senior year, and also like guys that are also on the team. So yeah, I'm excited. I think there's a lot of people who are excited to kind of watch some live sports as well. So yeah, I mean, that's about all I have to say about football. I mean, did you have anything you wanted to add?
No, I mean, I'm excited to hopefully watch some games. Hopefully they let students come and watch. I mean, I think they would if they let people go to the recs for indoor games.
Yeah, and for that they had us sitting two people to a little spot. Like they had two X's marked out on the bleachers, and they're like all 6 feet apart. So it's like, oh yeah, you guys can sit with yourself and a friend or whatever.
Yeah,
I think technically it's supposed to be family members.
It's meant for parents, but it's
they have it in the student section too. So
yeah, I mean, at least we get to go and watch.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a hectic semester. We're gonna have lots of WLC sports updates. That'll probably take a good chunk of each show.
Yeah, true.
In the coming weeks. Skylar's busy with football practices. This is his only night off, so that's how dedicated to the game he is for Sports Desk.
Yeah.
You're one night off, you're doing this.
Love it.
Yeah. So that's all we have for you for the Season 2 premiere. Stay tuned next week. We're going to probably, maybe, potentially, possibly have our first guest star of the season. And Skylar and I are working on getting some merch made.
That's right.
Merchandise. If you guys are interested in shirts, you let us know. Most of you who watch have a way to contact us. We're working with a marketing manager. We're gonna get some shirts made up to give to some people / sell.
It'll be fun.
It'll be a good time.
I think they're gonna look great.
I think they're gonna look good.
Great.
They're gonna look really good. Great. They're gonna look great. So we're excited to see how that all turns out. And so anything closing remarks you want to have, or otherwise I'm all set.
Nothing regarding sports. I just have a send off.
All right, Skylar, I'll let you send it off. Thanks for tuning into the Season 2 premiere.
Thank you guys. I would just like to let you know, Sports Desk, it's finger licking good.
See you next time. Oh.
See ya.